Welcome to Psychic Bent. My name is Carrie.
And I'm Kim. We are two sisters wanting to help other psychics learn and grow in their abilities and to help educate about spirits, angels, and everything psychic.
Welcome back, Psychic Bent listeners. And today's episode, we're going to talk about superstitions. Kim and I thought it would be a fun way to start the new year talking about the different kinds of superstitions. And we're very excited about it, just to have a fun episode, which I think all of our episodes are fun, but that's just me thinking. That's just me.
I agree.
Yeah. So, Kim, you want to lead us off on superstitions?
Okay. Superstitions, they of course go back decades, centuries, beginning of time or whatever, because we're always trying to figure out life and such. The first one I wanted to talk about is one that I know I use all the time, probably every day. It is knock on wood. To knock on wood or to touch wood, it is done to ward off unlucky consequences. Of course, it also is supposed to get rid of evil spirits, undo something that is said could possibly tempt fate or to bring good luck. One can also knock on wood 3 times after talking about something lucky or serendipitous in order to ward off the evil spirits who might purposefully ruin it. So it's believed that by some that the superstition dates back to ancient pagan times, and the belief that spirits or deities lived in trees, and knocking on the tree or touching it would acknowledge them or call upon them for protection from misfortune. It was also seen as a thank you gesture to the spirits or gods for bringing good luck and blessing. Now, in Irish folklore, it states that the act of knocking wood sends a thank you to leprechauns for some good luck. The Greeks worshipped the oak tree because it was sacred to Zeus and the Celts, and they believed in spirits living in trees. So touching these trees brought about good luck. As many early pagans' beliefs became part of the Christian beliefs, this superstition may have been one of them. Some people believe that the knocking on wood was associated with the cross. There was a Jewish version of the superstition which traces back to the Spanish Inquisition in the 15th century, and the Jews fled the wooden-built synagogues for refuge and came upon a specific knock code, knock, 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 to let them in. And these refugees saved many lives, and it then became common to knock on wood to bring that good luck about. So today it is accepted to knock on wood, a wood-like surface, for good luck. And there are times when people even knock on their own head for luck when there is no wood around. And that is something I do every single day, I believe.
You knock on your head every day?
Yes, I do. Knock on wood.
Okay.
You don't do that, huh?
We'll have a sidebar conversation after the podcast.
Well, sometimes there just isn't wood around, so you have to make do with what you've got.
Well, I thought it was cute that in the 19th century, the British children had a game called Tiggy Touchwood.
Tiggy Touchwood?
Yeah, Tiggy Touchwood, in which the young players claimed immunity from being tagged by touching the nearest piece of wood.
Oh, that's cool. That's just bass.
Yeah, but I like the sound of Tiggy Touchwood better than bass.
Me too. Bass. Exactly.
And then the adults picked up the habit and phrase, the British still say touch wood today.
Huh. It's so interesting how we keep doing the same things as we've done before.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so the next one is spilling salt. Now this one, I never knew where it came from. I just know that whenever I spill salt, I chuck it over the shoulder. So historically...
While you're knocking on your head?
While I'm knocking on my head, which may cause the salt to spill. Hence picking it up and chucking it over the shoulder.
Okay.
All right. So historically, it has been believed that spilling salt will bring a person bad luck. More so than bringing good luck, it is an invitation to let the devil in. Origins of this superstition may date back to ancient times, as salt was used in early rituals and practices. In many cultures, it was believed to be a powerful magical substance. Now, I saw in some of the research that this hasn't They think the origin may be back to European Christian or ancient Roman times when this one started. At one time, salt was a very expensive trading commodity, and spilling it was considered wasteful and frowned upon. This could have brought fear to the people who spilt it, which would make sense. Also, especially if you were one of the people that fixed the food for the owner of the household or whatever, and you spilt their expensive salt. I could see where that would bring fear about you. Also, there is a connection that spilled salt is unlucky because Judas is portrayed as the one spilling the salt in Da Vinci's painting of the Last Supper. There is yet another Christian belief ascribed to this superstition. It is believed that good spirits exist on the right-hand side and that the devil is seated on the left-hand side of God. So when we spill salt, it is important to throw the salt with our right hand over our left shoulder to keep the devil, evil, and bad luck off our backs and behind us. Walking under a ladder is the next one. The superstition associated with walking under the ladder is that it will bring you bad luck. One origin of this superstition dates back to medieval times in which the ladder symbolized the gallows. And that's a place where a person was life ended. So when someone walked under a ladder, it was believed that he would surely face his own death. And because people were killed by ladders in the past, it was thought that their spirits resided with the triangle that was formed by the leaning ladder. In other words, it formed a haunted area. Ladders were typically leaned up against the gallows and used to assist the person in charge of removing their bodies. By walking under the ladder during that time, it was assumed that the body could fall on you, causing injury or death. Another origin of the superstition dates back to ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed strongly in the power of the pyramids. Even a ladder leaning against a wall symbolized a pyramid because of its triangular shape. Now, if someone walked under it, they believed that the power of the sacred pyramid was broken. Yet another early belief about ladders was that when leaned triangularly against a wall, it signified the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The action of walking under the ladder was considered blasphemy and a desecration of God. Additionally, it would invite the devil in. Now that's based on the Christianity beliefs.
Well, what's funny is what I had for Egyptians, they thought that one might accidentally spot a god going up or down a ladder, so they avoided it, which I'm sure made it difficult building tall pyramids without your ladder.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, can't use the ladder today. Might run into a god.
Yep, not today.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the fact that, well, how do you use this ladder if you can't,
If you can't walk up it?
How did you build the pyramid?
Exactly. The aliens did it. Come on.
Yeah.
So there are ways to undo the seemingly disastrous consequences. By walking back through the ladder, you can undo the harm and secure a second chance of better luck.
An OSHA manual just blew up.
You got that right.
Not only did you walk under it once, you went backwards.
That's right. Also, crossing your fingers until you see a dog can fix the situation.
Why are you late from work? I crossed under a ladder and now I have to sit here with my fingers crossed. I see a dog.
I have to see a dog.
In an office building.
Exactly.
In an office building. Somebody get their phone out. Show me a dog.
Yeah. So there we go on that one.
I'm not trying to make fun of that superstition, but
No. I just thought it was funny that they gave you a handbook on how to fix it.
Yeah.
All right. So the next one I know I have done many times in my life, as apparently I do a lot of these superstitions. But it's a broken mirror. And no, it's not while I'm looking in it.
Well, I didn't think so.
The superstition of bad luck surrounding breaking a mirror has existed long before metal or glass mirrors were actually invented. Before these types of mirrors were produced, reflections of oneself were seen in rivers, ponds, pools, and bowls. If the reflection looked distorted, it was believed that disaster would strike. In fact, an ancient Greek divination used shallow bowls filled with water to help a person's future based on the reflection revealed. One's reflection represented an individual's soul. Distorting a mirror, glass, or water-filled bowl damaged the reflection and thus the soul. The ancient Greeks, Hebrews, and Egyptians produced mirrors made out of silver, gold, brass, or bronze, which were unbreakable. These early mirrors were considered extremely valuable and possessed mystical attributes. Almost universally, this superstition includes that the bad luck would last for 7 years. The origin of this belief stems from an early interpretation in Roman times that each person's body undergoes a physical regeneration every 7 years. A broken mirror signified a break in the person's health and well-being, going back to the theory of the mirror being the reflection of the soul. Now, that part interested me whenever I first researched it, because I remember for years that your body changes its chemistry I heard 7 years from back when I was younger, that every 7 years your body does a change, and that's back from there. I never knew that.
Okay, so this is based on the Romans, right?
That's based on the Romans, yeah.
Okay, so the Romans also felt that you could prevent that horrible outcome by gathering the broken pieces of the mirror and burying them by moonlight. So should we really trust that? The bad luck?
I don't know.
Because they had a way out.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and I get what you're saying. The body does. I've heard the same thing, that the body does. I wouldn't say regenerate, but changes every 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if exactly 7 years, but I've heard that after so many years, there's changes to the body and stuff. But I mean, they have a plan B.
Right. Exactly.
We'll just gather it all up. We're going to bury it under the moonlight.
We do that with other things, though, right?
Why not?
Exactly.
It probably all stems from the Romans.
That's right. Okay, this one is back in the 15th century, Venice, Italy, when glass mirrors backed by silver coating were first produced. They were extremely expensive, and servants of the wealthy, who most often would be in the position of cleaning or moving a mirror, could never afford to replace it if it was broken. The punishment or threat of breaking a mirror became that of having to serve for 7 years as an indentured servant to the mirror's owner. Again, another reference to 7.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get the reference to 7, but so that was the rich person's thing: is you break my expensive mirror, you're going to work it off.
That's right.
And I'm going to get 7 years out of you.
Yep, guaranteed.
I mean, so is that really superstition?
Well, I think they were using the 7 years superstition that they knew about to tie into what they believed. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like in the jewelry industry, opals, and I'm going down the rabbit hole, but opal sales at one point were outnumbering diamond sales. I'm talking about 1920s to 30s, I think was the time frame.
Mm-hmm.
And opals are very fragile stones. They're water-based stones, so they cannot handle adverse heat and adverse cold. They're not something you should wear every day. They need to be oiled. So there's a lot of care with them. It's because they break so easily. The jewelry industry came up with its bad luck to wear opal unless it's your birthstone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And so they started a superstition based on their lack of sales. And to this day, people like, oh, it's not my birthstone. I like opals, but it's not my birthstone, so I can't have it. I'm like, well, it's got nothing to do with it. So when you're talking about, this particular situation that ties right into it, is I've got something really expensive. If you break it, I'm sure that servant working for free for 7 years would have more than paid for that mirror. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably after 1 year.
Maybe could you imagine the fear of,
Yeah.
Yeah. And today we look at mirrors as portals.
We do. That we do.
We use them for scrying.
Mm-hmm.
Some mirrors we close off because things are coming through them. I don't know about the whole broken mirror thing.
Right. Well, they think it's tied to the soul. And since mirrors are portals and they can hold souls in them, souls could
Yes.
be there.
We saw that on an episode of Kindred Spirits
Yes, we did.
where he was a murderer, but he was a very talented artist, and they had
Mm-hmm.
replaced one of his paintings in a picture frame with a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And he came through the mirror. The mirror became a portal for him,
Right.
which sounds like some really good horror story stuff. But
Yep.
I mean, it just makes you want to think about the mirror thing.
Definitely.
Because you know, where does this stuff come from? You know, the superstition started somehow, some way.
Right. And there's no definite, this is how it began, blah, blah, blah.
Right, because we're talking thousands of years old on
Right.
some of these traditions.
Mm-hmm.
And as things change, as religions form, how much of this has altered?
Right.
Yeah, just like when we talked about the Yuletide episode, how the majority of our, not the majority, but a good portion of our Christmas things are tied to pagan beliefs.
Yeah, exactly.
That was their origin. So I just find it interesting.
Yep, I agree. All right. Do you have anything else on that one?
I think that was quite enough of my input on mirrors. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So step on a crack and break your mother's back. Now that's another superstition involving something cracked or broken being associated with bad luck. As a superstition that you step on a crack as foretelling of causing harm to a family member, and it's associated with like a mirror with cracks, you know, cracks in the earth, cracks on a sidewalk, or almost anywhere, has long been seen as portals to the realm of the supernatural for both good and ill. So to step on these cracks might be to invite or release unwelcome spirits into a world ready to do one harm. So that's kind of any crack anywhere, because you have to think about, you know, these superstitions, like you said, are like hundreds of years, thousands of years, you know, old, where they didn't have concrete sidewalks.
Right, yes.
You know, but they had cobblestone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you walk down a cobblestone pathway without stepping on a crack. But I mean, or just stepping on a crack in the earth, or just any kind of crack.
Right.
And I have to wonder how that came to be as a superstition.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, how did the crack in the earth become a portal to the supernatural?
Ancients could have seen things come out of cracks. You know what I'm saying? Out of the ground.
Yeah.
Coming up out of the ground.
And you think about different parts of the earth, like, you know, like in Yosemite, where you've got areas where steam comes out of the ground.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know, so I could see where, you know, hundreds of years ago, that's a portal. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Fred stepped over there. Now he's gone.
Now he's gone.
Know, that's a portal. Not that that's someplace you probably need to stay away from, but yeah, it's a portal. Don't go there.
That's right. And it could have originated from a sinkhole forming. Someone walking along and a sinkhole just swallowed them up. You just don't know.
Well, I don't think it'd be quicksand, because I don't think there'd be a crack in the quicksand. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
that's thrown out there. Random thoughts.
Random thoughts.
Things that make you go,
We a lot.
Yes. And I'm not sure. I like to have fun and jest, but to me, on the mother's back superstition, I just, that one I have a hard time getting around. A lot of these you could figure them out. You're like, well, yeah, I can see where that would come into play. I can see why that came into play.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But why does it break your mother's back? Because
Yeah.
it's it's going to cause harm to a family member.
Right.
It's just because it rhymes with crack.
Exactly.
So we made I don't want to say a nursery rhyme, we made a poem out of it, so it's just like, okay.
Yep. Got to make it sound good.
Yep. Good fun.
All right. So the next one is lucky pennies, or the penny. Now, finding a penny is commonly considered good luck. Remember the rhyme, find a penny, pick it up, all day long you'll have good luck. The origins of the superstition may stem from ancient times when metals were believed to offer protection from evil and harmful spirits in those who possessed them. When cultures began using coins as currency, obviously those who had more of them were considered wealthy. Thus, the accumulation of money translated into good fortune. Perhaps this fact contributed to the good luck association with finding a penny or any coin. And some people believe that different outcomes will occur if the penny is found either heads up or down. If the penny is heads up, you may freely and joyfully pick it up and experience good luck. If the penny faces tails up, you can pick it up and turn it over for the next person. Just do not take it with you because you will be bringing yourself bad luck. Some believe that the penny you pick up should be passed along to someone else the same day to ensure your own good luck.
But you've heard of pennies from heaven.
Uh-huh.
And I have received quarters and nickels, I believe, from Mom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't keep cash on me. I don't do cash transactions. The majority of my transactions are debit card, and I still end up with a bunch of coins in the bottom of my purse.
Right.
And it's like, how am I getting these coins in the bottom of my purse?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those. So, so I know that you're not supposed to pick them up unless they're either way. And I'm kind of funny about picking up stuff that I don't know who put it down to begin with. I'm funny, like, oh, what's on that? I don't want someone's bad juju. I don't need their energy, but it, sometimes if the coin is calling me in, I'll pick it up.
Right.
I just think sometimes that coin is a message too.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and I know that doesn't tie in with the superstitions episode, but I'm just like, okay, there's pennies from heaven.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So I think it's the way how you feel off that penny, whether it's heads up, tails up, on whether or not you feel. Because I always think it's a shiny penny. It's definitely one from heaven.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but that's just me.
Right. And then,
Carry on.
well, another ritual associated with the penny is that a bride should put a penny in her shoe to ensure a happy and prosperous marriage. So I thought that one was kind of neat.
Well, no. Have you walked with a penny in your shoe?
I did on my wedding day.
Yeah. Was it comfortable?
No.
Yeah.
But I did it.
So a woman did not come up with that.
No.
I'm just telling you.
No. But I like to think it worked. So.
Well, evidently for you. I had a listener today who was listening to one of the most recent podcasts, said that she thought it was funny that I referred to you were dating so long ago. They have horses and carriages.
Yeah.
She goes, I need to see a picture of your sister because I don't know how old she is. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but she thought that was funny.
That is funny.
She hasn't dated in so long. There were horses drawn with carriages, or horse-drawn carriages.
Yeah, no, not that old, but that's okay.
It's always nice when a listener gets my humor.
Exactly.
Not everybody gets it.
Yeah, I get the same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm back on track.
Back on track. Okay, so let's talk about the horseshoe. The superstition associated with the horseshoe is one of good luck and good fortune. It is believed that the good luck powers of the horseshoe date back to the story of a blacksmith named Dunstan and a man he believed was the devil. It is said that a man came to Dunstan and requested that he put horseshoes on his feet, or the hoofs. Dunstan recognized this man as the devil and nailed a horseshoe to the devil's hoof. Seeing that the devil was in great pain, it is said that he chained him while he was in agony and only released him after the devil promised never to enter a place that had a horseshoe hung over the door. Dunstan eventually became the Archbishop of Canterbury in 959 A.D. and is known as Saint Dunstan. The way the horseshoe is hung and displayed varies. Some regions of the world believe that hanging the horseshoe in the upward position, where it looks like a U, holds in all the good luck and the powers it brings. For them, hanging the horseshoe upside down meant that its powers would fall away and dissipate. However, there are others who believe that hanging it in a downward position allows all the good luck, protective powers, and good luck to shower upon you and surround the home. Another belief exists that the horseshoe, because of its crescent shape, has the ability to ward off the evil eye. In ancient Europe, this crescent shape represented the various moon goddesses, which were signs of protection, good luck, fertility, and could protect against a curse from the evil eye.
Now, you've heard of the like the railroad ties,
Mm-hmm.
those spikes. Those
Right?
are made out of the same kind of metal that horseshoes are made out of.
Okay.
And those are known to keep entities, ghosts, from coming into a certain space, or you can keep them in a certain space and leave you alone
Ah.
just by putting them over doorways
Uh-huh.
and such. So I would think that the horseshoe would probably work in the same, because it's the metal. Because I've seen where if you put on each corner of the house, you put it one of those railroad stakes,
Mm-hmm.
that keep that protects your home from spirits and ghosts. I'm wondering if that's the same kind of, would the horseshoe also do that?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Things that make you go,
Hmm.
hmm.
Yeah.
So did he become a saint because of this story?
Oh, no, no. He has many other things attributed to him other
I should
than
hope so.
just this story.
Okay. Okay. I'm like going, so I told you I did this, and now I'm a saint.
Yeah. No, there were other things.
Because I was a blacksmith before this all happened, and I'm just, questioning things.
Yeah. Okay, so the next is the number 13. And across many cultures, the belief that the number 13 is evil and brings bad luck is so strong that many hotels, office and apartment buildings do not have or recognize a 13th floor. Airports usually do not have a 13th gate, and many people stay home on Friday the 13th. The Chinese and ancient Egyptians believed the number 13 brings good fortune. The Egyptians believed in 12 stages of life towards spiritual enlightenment. The 13th stage was the eternal afterlife. In this sense, death was not a place of fear, but a place of high regard for the afterlife. Do you have anything else on the number 13?
The Romans, they had a magical significance has been attached to number 13. It's unlucky rather than lucky. The number 12 has frequently been seen as positive: 12 months of the year, 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 days of Christmas, the 12 tribes of Israel,
Mm-hmm.
naturally making the nearest neighboring number the more north negative. Like, look at the Last Supper. The 13th is also seen as unlucky because, once again, the great betrayer Judas was the 13th member of the dinner party that led to Christ's crucifixion.
Right.
Let's see, on Friday the 13th of October 1307, King Philip IV of France was arrested and put to death. He arrested and put to death hundreds of Templar Knights.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. So that was definitely not a good thing for King Philip IV to do. But again, going with the 13th being unlucky.
Exactly.
I always think of the Templar thing as around Valentine's Day. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. It was
Mm-hmm.
October 1307. I was not there.
I was not there neither.
Yes.
At least not that I know of. Okay, so I have the black cat crossing your path. If a black cat crosses your path, bad luck will come to you, and it can also be an omen of death. In another version, it is believed that if a black cat walks toward you, it will bring you good luck, and if it walks away from you, it takes good luck away. In ancient Egypt, all cats, including black ones, were highly regarded and well protected from death and injury. It is customary in England and Ireland that black cats bring good luck. During the Middle Ages, black cats were seen as evil demons and companions to witches, and that they should be destroyed. Because they were seen as demons, it was believed that a black cat crossing your path would block your connection to God and the entrance to heaven. The paranoia surrounding the superstition caused the destruction of a lot of black cats, as well as the killing or severe punishment of anyone who took care of them. Those poor little kitty cats.
It's a kitty cat.
Right.
When I lived in Reno, of course, I'm a cat person, which anybody who's listened to the podcast knows that. And it was right before our Halloween. I was in PetSmart getting something, and there was this black cat, and he was 6 years old,
Hmm.
and he was available for adoption. And I just thought, oh my gosh, this little beauty someone's going to do something, because people do that, aren't always doing good things to cats on Halloween. And I adopted this cat. And who adopts a 6-year-old cat? It's like,
Carrie does.
he's halfway through his life. His name was Oliver, and he was such a sweetheart. And unfortunately, I had to put him to sleep shortly after I moved to North Carolina. But he was a beautiful cat and very well behaved cat, but his owner had died,
Hmm.
and that's why he was available for adoption.
Yep.
My heart just went out to this little guy, and he had to come home with me.
Yep.
But I did not have bad luck because of having Oliver in my home, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
And to me, cats are a protector. They're more in tune to the spirit world than I think any other animal.
Yeah, I would believe. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an entity in the house, the cat knows it before me,
Oh my goodness, yes.
and okay, here's Psychic Susie, and okay, the cat knows it before me, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, cats are so in tune to the supernatural. They see more things than we do, so I'm not with the black cat superstition.
Nope.
But I just think that all cats are spiritually protective of you. Now, to say that there can be there's always a bad animal.
Hmm.
You had a cat. Remember the cat that would attack me?
Suki.
No, was it Suki at Mom and Dad's house?
Oh, Princess.
The one that Dan got upset because I threw him out.
That was Princess.
And we never saw Princess again.
Yeah, that was Princess. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kim had a cat that would lurk in the darkness
Oh,
and wait for me to come home and would attack me. Like, I have never in my life, that's the only cat I have ever met that did not like me. So to me, that cat was part of a superstition.
yeah.
But, I mean, the last time I saw the cat, jumped up and grabbed my arm with all of 4 feet with the claws, and I was bleeding terribly. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And the cat was ejected from the home that evening. And I'm sorry, Kim, but we never saw the cat again.
No, we
But
did not.
there was something definitely wrong with that cat. So I can see where someone might start a superstition based on Kim's old cat.
Yes.
Because normally animals are not that way. Normally. I mean, there's always an animal that's treated cruelly or whatnot. This cat was not treated cruelly.
No, she wasn't.
But she targeted me, and every time she had the opportunity, she would attack me.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
So I could see where a superstition with a cat could be created on a situation where you got a crazy cat.
Yeah, but maybe you had an attachment with you.
Don't make this about my fault. The cat wasn't attacking an attachment. It was attacking me.
Maybe it missed. Oh, I'm sorry.
Not that many times.
No, you're right.
Yeah. I had blood. That's very traumatic.
Oh, I'm
for
sure.
someone who loves animals and the thing would be in the hallway in the dark, just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I can see where the superstition might. It didn't scar me for life. I still love cats. That cat is a one-off situation. It's Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs cat. But but I have never in my life had a cat physically attack me.
Yeah.
See, I can see where someone would come up with a superstition on Kim's cat.
Yes, I agree.
Kim's old cat. Yeah.
Right.
I can see how it started.
Yeah, me too.
I threw him out of the house because we're not tolerating that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the cat was possessed. I don't think I had anything to do with me having an attachment. The cat had the attachment. But it had to go outside because that was behavior that was not acceptable.
Right.
And the fact that it disappeared says so.
Agreed.
How many years ago was that? I still have a grudge against your cat.
Oh my gosh. Over 30.
Yes.
Over 30 years.
Yes. Cats love me, but that one.
Yep.
That cat had some mental issues. But like I said, I could see where someone could create a superstition against a cat. And some people just don't like cats. They find them creepy.
Yeah, they do.
And I can see where people would buy into that superstition.
Yeah.
I have trouble believing that a cat, just because of its color, is bad luck.
I do too. I agree. So, do you have anything else on cats?
No, I think I've given
Okay.
I think I've given you enough cat material.
Okay, great.
Unless you want me to get catty, and I can do that too.
Well, why don't we move on to crossing fingers?
We should move on
Okay.
quickly.
So, crossing two fingers, which is usually the middle and the index finger, is a very common superstition. It is mainly done to ensure good luck and prosperity or to give courage and support to yourself or another individual. For triple good luck, some people cross not only their fingers, but their arms and legs at the same time. Some theories indicate that the origin of crossing the fingers dates as far back as the 14th century. In the pre-Christian era, crosses, for example, the solar cross, although there were many other variations of crosses at the time, symbolized power and unity, and the middle of the cross represented all that was good. People made wishes on the middle point of the cross to ward off evil so that nothing would get in the way of the wish they wanted to fulfill. That tradition evolved into crossing fingers between two people. One person would make a wish, the other person would help solidify the wish by putting his index finger onto the other person's index finger, making the sign of the cross. Later, it evolved into a single gesture. A person would cross his own two fingers for his own good luck or someone else's. It is also possible that during the 100 Years' War between France and England, before an archer would draw his bow, he would cross the same two fingers that he would use on the bow to pray for good luck.
Interesting.
So today, crossing your fingers for luck is universal to many cultures and not just to Christianity. However, sometimes people cross their two fingers behind their backs to absolve themselves when they tell a lie and to ask God for forgiveness at the same time. Also, the crossing of the fingers has a part to play in the walking under a ladder superstition, which we talked about earlier. And it is believed that if you accidentally walk under a ladder, make your fingers crossed to ward off any evil coming your way.
How do you accidentally walk under a ladder?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even climb on them, so.
Well, there's a reason for that, a very good reason for that.
Yeah.
The whole afraid of heights thing doesn't help.
Doesn't help, no. Oh, goodness. All right. Did you have anything on crossing fingers?
No, just cross your fingers and toes.
Yep, exactly. All right.
I mean, really, can you really cross your toes?
Well, some people
I'm
can.
trying.
Now, I have seen people with long toes be able to do that, but my short, fat toes don't cross. Because I got short little toes. They don't cross at all.
So you cannot pick up the pencil off the floor with your toes.
I can pick a pencil up. It's just between the big toe and the toe next to it I can do that. I just can't cross my toes, no.
Listeners are right now trying to cross their toes to see if they can do it.
Well, I was trying while we were talking about it too, so. Okay, so what would you like to do next?
Well, we haven't covered the umbrella.
Okay, you want me to, I've got sneeze, number 7, umbrella, hearse, and 4-leaf clover. So you want to go umbrella?
Let's do the umbrella.
So the next one is one that I've adhered to all my life, is the opening of an umbrella. It's still believed by some that opening an umbrella indoors will bring bad luck. The origins of the superstition are not totally agreed upon, but some say it can be traced back to the early Egyptians. Back then, umbrellas protected people, mostly nobility or religious leaders, from the heat of the sun, not from the rain, and were thought to ward off spirits who might do them harm. To open one inside or even in the shade would offend the god of the sun. It was also believed that the Egyptian goddess Nut enveloped the sky like a huge umbrella. The beautiful man-made umbrellas were fashioned with peacock feathers and papyrus and represented the goddess. Because of their religious significance, they were usually held only over the noble classes. The shadow that surrounded the person underneath the umbrella was considered sacred and if someone other than the nobility stepped on this space, it was considered sacrilegious. Oddly enough, the Babylonians considered it to be an honor for someone to step into the shadow of a king's umbrella shade. Others believe that the bad luck associated with opening an umbrella indoors came to be in the 18th century London, the time when waterproof umbrellas with metal spikes were popularized. These umbrellas were awkward to open and very extremely large in size, which would cause injury to people or break objects if opened inside a house or in a small
Now
space.
we know why it was bad luck. That's why it was bad luck. I impaled Uncle Harry again with my umbrella.
Yep. This could cause anger or arguments among family or friends, which was considered bad luck, or at least something to be avoided.
So really, yeah. So the first part of that is bad luck if you step into my space under my umbrella.
Exactly. Yep. It's my umbrella. Leave it alone.
I'm rich enough to have this umbrella, so now you're in my space, and it's now considered sacrilegious. If you had an umbrella at Walmart, that's you. Don't get under my umbrella. It's sacrilegious.
That's right.
Get out of my space. See the umbrella? Can't come near it.
Can't come near it.
I would be the English version of trying to open the umbrella and stabbing someone or
impaling someone. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yep. So it has also been noted that bad luck does not occur if the umbrella has first been opened outdoors and then brought inside to dry, and that bad luck is associated with an umbrella if it is the color black, was given as a gift, has never been used outside in the rain, is opened on a ship, or is dropped on the floor. So all that is associated with bad luck with the umbrellas.
Wow.
Which I've probably done all of that except for opening it on a ship.
Well, have you impaled somebody with an umbrella?
That didn't say anything about I've impaled myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have
I was
impaled
gonna say,
myself.
is the court date pending or what?
No, I got myself with it.
I think we better move on to the hearse.
Oh, you want to do the hearse one? Okay, let's go. Let's
Yeah.
find the hearse. Oh, no. All right, so seeing a hearse. The hearse is a most notorious icon of death and mourning. Numerous superstitions, gestures, and beliefs are connected to this vehicle. But the mere sight of a hearse can stir up many emotions about our own mortality. Since the time of horse-drawn carriages, when I started dating, a common belief was that...
Back in the day.
Back in the day. A common belief was that if you saw a hearse, you would be the next to die. To avoid such a horrible curse in Victorian times, it was believed that holding a button could ward off this demise. Others held a button until they saw a bird. Some people would go as far as to hold their breath, close their eyes, and put their feet up in the air.
So how are they putting their feet up in the air?
Because they're holding their breath, closing their eyes, they've passed out, and their feet are up in the air.
Now, when others held the button until they saw a bird, I envisioned the bird pooping on you.
Exactly.
From past episodes, we know it's something common that happens to Kim.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. And another old...
And what if you work in a mortuary?
Well, you don't have to see the hearse if you work in the mortuary. That's the
What
coachman.
do you think but that's what delivers the bodies.
That's what your helper does, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, so your helper better have some good buttons. Okay.
It's not traveling down the road.
Okay.
It's just pulled up in the yard, I guess. I don't know. Another old belief is that a hearse drawn by two horses, especially white ones, signified a death would happen in the neighborhood in the very near future.
Okay. Now, I have to go here. Back in the day, and I'm talking about 1800s, people died a lot, because they didn't have all the sanitation that we have today.
Right.
There's things that people died in childbirth. Children died of illnesses very young. So, I mean, when you have a time period where it's not uncommon for people to die suddenly, I don't think they saw the horse.
No.
No. I'm saying, I mean, I could see where someone could tie that into, because we always say that deaths happen in threes.
Right.
But I didn't come across that in any of my research, did
I
you?
No, I did not.
It's like, but deaths always happen in threes. Now, am I saying there's three people I know they're going to die? No, it's three random people on the internet. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's usually celebrities or famous people, and then they die in threes.
Yep.
So that's my superstition. I'm not holding a button.
Okay. Maybe you have your finger on a button on a keyboard.
Maybe, and maybe that
Yeah,
finger's crossed
exactly.
on the button on the keyboard
That's
while
right.
looking at horses,
Yep. With your feet
pulling a
up
hearse.
with your feet up in the air.
Yeah, because I'm holding my breath.
Okay, so one of the more interesting traditions about hearses passing by is taken from Japanese culture. Hiding one's thumb in a fist while the hearse passed was done to protect the parents from an early death. And another superstition is based on which direction you see the hearse moving. If the hearse is moving toward you and empty, it is considered good luck in some parts of the United States. In other areas of the U.S., it could bring on 3 days of good or bad luck. On the other hand, if a hearse is empty and moving away from you, you are close to death.
Now, okay, I can see if it was one of those hearse carriages.
Mm-hmm.
It's obvious when there's something in it and something not.
Right.
But you see a hearse going down the road, you don't know if nothing's in it. Unless it's in a funeral procession, you don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going with that. You're empty. It's empty. You're empty. How do you know?
Right. How do you know? Well, it used to be that they did not have the tinted glass
Mm-hmm.
in the hearse. It was just clear
Yeah.
in the motor vehicle hearse where you could see whether or not there was a coffin inside.
And I know in yours, because I went through your notes and everything. I love the very last line of your research on the hearse.
Yeah, I was getting to that one.
Yeah, love that one.
You want me to do the whole last paragraph or just the...
You go for it.
Okay.
You go for it.
So some people believe that if they see their reflection in the window of a hearse, it is a bad sign. No matter what, a hearse is the sign of imminent death. Most people have some type of superstitions about seeing one, and most of us will be unable to avoid being the passenger in one way or another. And by the way, you don't ever want to be the first person to drive a brand new hearse. It is definitely bad luck.
So today, on your first day of the job, we're going to let you break in the new vehicle. Good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
What? Huh?
Huh? What? Me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to cover?
I think I've covered enough on hearses.
Okay. I think one more I would like to do is the four-leaf clover. Are you good with that one?
Yes, but I just have to say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
She has one. Kim did some research and came across one for sneezing.
Yes.
And I just want to talk about that real quick.
Okay.
In the 17th century England, if a sneeze was heard, it was customary for all who were nearby to remove their hats, curtsy or bow, or wish God bless you. As time went on, in the 1800s in England, a rhyme was penned that described the outcomes of sneezing on the various days of the week, which I thought this was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sneeze on Monday, sneeze for danger. Sneeze on Tuesday, kiss a stranger. Sneeze on Wednesday, sneeze for a letter. Sneeze on Thursday, something better. Sneeze on Friday, sneeze for a woo. Sneeze on Saturday, a journey to go. Sneeze on Sunday, your safety seek for Satan will have you for the rest of the week. Like, what the heck is that?
Exactly.
Okay, first of all, we have a sister that when she sneezes can clear a room. It's kablooey.
Yeah.
So if the poor thing had sneezed in the 17th century, what would have happened?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, that's all I wanted to touch on. I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that one I thought was funny too.
Yeah. Go on to the four-leaf clovers.
Okay, yeah. So the last one I'd like to cover is the four-leaf clover. And the four-leaf clover or shamrock is thought of as a good luck charm in part because its rarity in nature. It is estimated that the chances of finding a four-leaf clover are 1 in 10,000. The origin...
I don't agree with that.
I find them all the time, so come on, there's more than that.
Yeah. Mom would go out and find them. I've gone out and find them. You found them. I'm like, come on. Okay.
Yeah. The origin of the superstition dates back as far as the biblical story of Adam and Eve. It is believed that when Eve was cast out of the Garden of Eden, she took a four-leaf clover with her to remind her of the lushness of paradise. Since then, it has become a symbol of good luck and good fortune.
Well, it
According to...
wasn't good luck and good fortune for Eve,
Nope. Oh,
but okay.
okay. According to Irish beliefs, the superstition stems from Druid priests who used the shamrock for healing the sick in worship rituals and to ward off evil. Prior to this, St. Patrick had found the three-leaf clover to be an extraordinary plant. In ancient Egypt, when a couple got married, it was traditional to give them a four-leaf clover, which was a blessing of their union and a representation of their undying love for one another.
Okay, so if it's 1 in 10,000 and you got invited to this wedding and you got to give them a four-leaf clover. I'm just doing the math here.
Yeah.
So I have to send my regards. I cannot make it because I'm not one of the 10,000 that found a four-leaf clover.
True. And how common are clover in Egypt back in the day?
Yeah, I don't know, but in the Appalachian Mountains, we have a lot of clover.
Yeah, exactly. Now, some of the beliefs surrounding the power of the four-leaf clover include each of the four leaves on this lucky charm has a specific meaning: faith, hope, love, and luck, which I like that. Both children and adults would hang the four-leaf clover at home to ward off evil, witchcraft, and bad omens. A person who finds a four-leaf clover will meet a future lover on that same day. Some people even go as far as to put the four-leaf clover in their shoe, which I've never done that.
No.
Yeah. Anyone who possesses a four-leaf clover will have good fortune in any ventures they attempt. The four-leaf clover is a charm that protects against evil. Anyone wearing a four-leaf clover will be able to see fairies. One belief states that you will only have good luck if the four-leaf clover is kept out of sight and never passed to someone else. Another one states that if you give the four-leaf clover to someone else, your luck will double. So always be on the lookout for the four-leaf clover because you never have enough good luck.
It's really funny. This was before I had gotten married to my now ex-husband, and I was finding four-leaf clovers all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was driving him absolutely crazy because he couldn't find one.
Mm-hmm.
And when I would find them, I would press them in a book.
Yeah.
And I don't think people do that anymore, where you only take a flower and you close it in a book and press it and you put more books on top of it to get the weight to press it. But I just it was just funny because it was like the last time I went out to look for four-leaf clover, I didn't find any. I'm like, well, usually it's pretty common. You just have to go out and look.
Right.
But man, could Mom find four-leaf clovers.
Yeah, she could.
She would just go out and boop, here's some.
Yeah.
One. Here's one. Here's one. So
everywhere.
That 1 in 10,000, I'm really questioning.
Oh, maybe she finds 10,000 at once.
Maybe. Or maybe she's using her intuition to locate them.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, or spirits letting her find them.
Right.
Here,
right.
Here's some. Or used to let her find. You did the wax paper, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to iron them in wax paper to seal them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I have for superstitions, unless there was something else you'd like to cover from anything you have.
Well, I mean, I know that we've had a lot of fun with superstitions,
Mm-hmm.
and some I could truly see the value in it, and the yes, and some I'm like going, I don't know, get away from my umbrella.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's so many more superstitions that are out there that we didn't even cover,
Right.
because it's an hour show.
Right.
Or 45 minutes to an hour show. So hopefully you found this episode entertaining, and hopefully I did not offend anybody with my humor. It's just, there's just some things I find funny.
Yeah. If you have any superstitions that you know about that we didn't cover and you thought we would find interesting, just email them to us at psychicbit1@gmail.com.
Oh, even if you don't think we'll find them interesting, if it's something we, obviously haven't heard about. Yeah, we'd love to hear about it.
Or any other stories you might have and you'd like to tell us.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to this episode of Psychic Bent. Of course, like and subscribe on any of the platforms that you do listen to our podcast on. And like and follow us on Facebook under Psychic Bent Podcast. And you can email us at
psychicbent1@gmail.com.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Bye.
Bye. May your light shine bright. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast, Psychic Bent. If you enjoyed Psychic Bent, please like, follow, rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. We can be reached on Facebook at Psychic Bent Podcast. Our email address is psychicbent1@gmail.com. May your light shine bright.